Buddy, after your big opening weekend against Bama, split the next
Get
one.
the split against UCO. Yeah.
That's a big one. So what was that's obviously those are your first away games. What was the road trip to Oklahoma like? How'd your first away experience?
It was one of the most boring drives ever. Like it was like fuck, like it looked like middle Canada, like
Yeah.
Saskatchewan type thing. Like it's super flat. Um it was also like the hottest I've ever played a regular season hockey game in. It was 38 degrees out. So the ice was like curling ice. You know what curling ice is like?
Yeah.
Where it's like bumpy and shit can't move. Like you couldn't move.
Yeah. Puck doesn't slide.
No. And then first we opened up really well, like the first 5 minutes, and then first play for me is my D man. He kind of steps around the D man along the by the blue line, comes in and kind of breaks away from him, and I got to slide across. And like he does, like he walks in and he like it's kind of like a partial breakaway, but he's like coming from an angle. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And he like does like walks across the face of the net and tries to talk, and he talks. And I'm trying to slide on this ice, and it's like, oh my god, it's like curling ice because I can't move.
Yeah.
So yeah, that wasn't a great start, but I think we lost that 4-2.
Okay. Yeah.
Which like it was good to play against a good team, but they were also like, I don't think they'll be ranked as high as they were last year at all. They had like 14 players.
What was their barn like?
It was a barn.
Yeah.
It was a barn. It was there's like seats on one side. There's probably like, I don't know, 600 people there. It was
That's pretty good.
700. It was
That's
pretty good, yeah.
good.
It wasn't loud. It wasn't like when we play at home.
Yeah.
It was a little more quiet, um but yeah, it was their home opener too, so I think that was like the most fans that they're probably going to get,
Oh, okay. Cool. Gotcha.
which makes sense. But yeah, we lost the first game 4-2, and then we whooped them in the second game. It was like 6-2. We won. Yeah, good response, I think. Yeah, and then what else happened? Yeah, they only had like 14 players, guy. They just didn't recruit, and they were injured.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
so they super short bench, but they were still like decent players.
That's
Like
crazy.
all vets, and they were all like juniors and seniors, so they were
Mm.
really old, and then so
Wow.
they competed. But yeah,
Interesting.
it was like playing in a sauna, man.
Yeah, I can't imagine. That'd be so weird playing in weather like that. I guess I've never really experienced that much. Like besides like I don't know, doing like summer beer league tournaments or like summer skates, but that's not the same
Yeah,
as like a real game, you know?
I was
That's yeah, that'd
sweating.
be weird. I don't know how you do it in that heat, dude. That's
Dude, I was
that's sounds
sweating.
gross.
I played both games this weekend, so I was fucking I come back after the second game and my gear's soaked.
Yeah.
So I'm like pissed because my
Oh,
my
gross.
gear's like all sweaty still. I'm like, fuck, it did not air out at all. I was pissed. And then but yeah, we ended up winning the second game, which was good. But yeah, it was a long it was actually surprisingly long bus ride home. We got home at like 3 in the morning. It's kind of shit, but
Nice. Well, first away weekend, not bad.
yeah, not a terrible start. Hopefully we get their rankings in November or October. So
October?
first
Oh,
week of
nice.
October.
Okay. And what do they rank up to? The top what?
UCO?
No. Sorry. When they release the rankings, what do they go to?
They rank everyone, but like you don't get a number unless you're top 25, I think.
Okay, gotcha.
Like they'll put like, if say we're 17 or whatever, they'll put number 17 Drury.
Yeah, but if you're 30, there won't be
But
any.
if you're 30, they're not going to put 30.
Okay, I get it. I get it. Okay, cool.
Yeah. But they rank everyone, but yeah. Welcome back to episode 11 of the Jungle Hockey Podcast, featuring Bennett Kuhnlein, current Quesnel River Rush forward, presented by the Hockey Podcast Network. I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Owen Elson. How are you doing?
I'm good, buddy. I'm good. Been back on my school grind.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how's school going? This is year 4, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, technically it's year four, but because I was playing hockey for the first 3 years, I wasn't really doing the full course load, so I'm probably a little behind like the 4-year graduation timeline. But most of a lot of the hard stuff's out of the way. It's just gonna take me a little bit longer. But yeah,
Right.
no, it's been good. How's the actual school part been for you? You still at 400% in stats, or
So free. I'm at a 4.0 still. I'm not 100% in everything, but I'm at a 4.0 still. I got like a 42 out of 43 on my stats project, so that's keep inflating my mark right now. Just huge. And then
good man? That's good.
yeah, I'm fucking grinding. But no, it's a dude, it's like some of the classes I'm in are just so free. Like presentational speaking, like come on.
That's a class.
It's a class. It's like it's
That's not just
for
what you do in the class. That's what the class is called.
yeah, that's like what you do in the class as well. It's like about giving speeches and stuff. And like presenting shit, which is like it's kind of interest. I don't know. It's kind of it's just shit like that where it's like if you do it, you get 100% and you just boost your GPA.
Yeah, fair enough. I've actually for pretty much the first time I got like a class that has like there's like bonus marks, so I can actually like do extra. But I got to do extra work, but I can get
Extra
bonus
cred.
marks for the first time ever. Yeah, extra cred, extra cred. So that's pretty nice. I've been all over that so far.
I was doing that in class, extra credit. So nice. Me and my buddy, we had to debate each other in front of the class. You get 10 extra cred marks. I was like sick.
Oh my god. Yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
yeah, that's
it,
all. That sounds fun. Well, buddy,
no, yeah, it's easy.
obviously we got our VI preview coming today.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, so we did have a guest who plays in the VI plan for you guys today. Unfortunately, he had a bit of a last minute emergency.
yeah,
And fortunately, we had Bennett lined up for an interview. So Bennett will be our guest for this episode, even though it's a VI preview and he plays for Quesnel. And then hopefully we can get our initially planned guest on as soon as possible to get some more, I don't know, I guess more perspective from an actual VI player. So apologies
yeah,
for that. Anyways, we got a great interview coming for you today. I'm excited for this one. Joey, obviously,
yeah.
he's a guy that did you play with him actually? I don't
Yeah,
even know. Oh,
we won in Revelstoke together my first year.
first year. Okay. So
Yeah, and then Bennett went to play in the MHL, the Maritimes,
oh, okay, yeah.
and then came back. Now he's playing his 20-year-old year in Quesnel.
Okay, so has he been in the Maritime since
Yeah,
his rookie
since we
year?
won our first year. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, that'll be really interesting. I don't think I've ever talked to anybody who's played out in the Maritimes League, so that'll be super exciting to have him on there. Talk about that a bit, as well as coming back to play in the KI, especially for Quesnel, a new team. Hopefully, he has some pretty cool insight about that. Obviously, the KI Joey finally opened up this week.
Yeah, that's true. I was just looking at some of the box scores.
Yeah, you wanna give us a bit of a KI recap so far? Has it kind of gone how you've expected? Any players who've been popping off in particular, or
Um,
what's give us a little recap of
yeah,
the KI?
yeah. The KI got back to it this weekend. There's a couple guys popping off with statistics. They gave out the I like how I don't know if the PJ does this actually. They do the player of the week. Do you guys do that?
Players of the week. So three guys get player of the
Yeah.
week. So I'll talk
So
about
like
those guys
the
and talk about Pidge, but you guys just do a player of the week?
yeah, no, we do so one forward, one D, and one goalie. So I don't know if the pitch does that too. Is that
No,
how it
we just
works?
do three total, but that makes
Oh,
sense.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
ours
so
is
it's like
random, I believe.
positionally. But yeah, Fife's brother, my old roommate's brother, Brenner Fife, the
Yeah.
goalie, he played both games for Kamloops and got a shutout, and then also um he went 1-1, but he had a shutout and he had faced a lot of shots. He had like 74 shots in the week, so it was like he had a pretty good performance. And then this guy on Nelson, Connor Hovelkamp, put up
Mhm.
5 points in 2 games as a
Oh,
rookie. Yeah, and
not a
then
bad start.
The D man one is so like I have no idea if Liam Ray actually played well. He got 4 points in 2 games. Um, because it's like it's always based on the amount of points you get. So
Yeah,
like
yeah,
obviously like 4 points in 2 games is pretty solid, but I don't know if I can tell. You can usually tell with goalies and stuff,
yeah.
like if they played well or not. But yeah, we were actually watching on the way back from Oklahoma City. We were watching what was it, Revy and Hunter Mile. I
Oh,
was like,
nice.
oh my god, because it went to a shootout.
Yeah, yeah.
5-4 barn burner for Revy in 100 Mile. Never have to go back there again, thank God, because playing there was horrible, man.
They got a pretty cool barn, though, don't they?
Yeah,
It's like all wood.
yeah, it's like all wood paneling on the side,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
like a shit ton of stands. Like if they actually got fans, it's actually a decent place to play. Like it's not like it's 100 Mile, but it's like you get the guys with the cowbells start going crazy and stuff. But came away with a 5-4. We were watching it on the bus on the way back. They came away with a 5-4 win in a shootout. It was an absolute barn burner. Couple other scores. Merritt get their first win in the KI, 2-1 against Quesnel. Good for Wes. And then we had some other scores. Williams Lake got their first win as well. Yeah, and they beat Sycamoose the next day, 5-2 as well. Beaver Valley just absolutely rolled Spokane, 10-rip. A couple other ones. Surprising to see. Maybe Chase is good. They won 3-1. They won 3-1 against Kamloops. I don't know what the story is on that game, but looks like Chase outshot them too. So I didn't get a chance to watch, but looks like maybe Chase will be contending for that division.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, which is a little bit crazy. Crazy to think. Grand Forks won 6-1 against Spokane. Just to early contenders to be bottom of the table, I think. Merritt lost their second game 1-0. So some close games for Merritt there in West, starting the weekend off 1-1. Revelstoke only played once. I think Kimbo went 1-1 as well. They lost to Columbia Valley, but they beat Creston. So yeah, a lot of stuff going on in the KI, but it's just gonna be interesting to keep track of it and see how it goes this year.
Nice, buddy. Yeah, man. Obviously the PIJ is in full swing. I think there's one or two teams, like Delta's already played 8 games somehow. Most teams are around 4 or 5, but Delta's played 8 games. So, dude, the PIJ has been crazy. I think Ridge's smallest win until last night was a 6-0 against Chilliwack. Was their smallest win. They won 10-3 against Delta, who's a contender, 12-0 against Aldi, 14-2 against Mission, 9-1 against White Rock. They've just been rolling everybody. Zach LaGrange, 17 points in 6 games. Nolan Boucher, 14-6. Cochin, 12-5. Ravenstein, 12-6. Muck, 11-6. White, 10-6. They've just been going insane. Like, these guys are all just feasting every single game. It's actually ridiculous how dominant Ridge has been. Zach LaGrange was one of the 3 players of the Player of the Weeks, along with Mateo Schoberg and Coastal's goalie Nick Peters, who had a .960 save percentage in his first 3 games. He's been one of the main reasons solid. Coastal's been doing so well. Yeah, for sure. But I mean, Ridge in first place, obviously 6-0. Langley's in second. This is for the Herald Britain. Ridge 6-0. Langley's in second, but they played 7 games. They're 4-3. Abby's in third. They're 3-1-1. Joe, Abby's looking really good.
Really?
Abby's looking really, really good. Like, I think there's a very good chance they end up taking second in this division, actually.
Really? Wow.
With Chilliwack. Them and Chilliwack will be really tight. Surrey is no longer in this conversation. Sorry to them. Sorry, Chenye. But Joe, have you seen their results?
No, I haven't been tuning in to the PIJ very much.
Yeah, so they had a good win against Aldergrove, but everyone's had a good win against Aldergrove. They won that one 7-2, but 6-1 lost to White Rock, in which there was a few fights. Joe, I'm sure you saw the fights.
Oh yeah, I saw some clips you were posting.
Yeah, 6-1 loss to Langley. 5-3 loss to Abbey, which not bad, but it's a loss. 10-0 loss to Richmond. So Surrey has definitely dropped quite a bit in my power rankings. Like, I think they'll probably end up finishing 5th in this division, with Langley 4th, Abbey or Chilliwack 3rd, Abbey 2nd, Ridge 1st. But
Chenye's got to stop working those 12s before the game, and then maybe dial in for some hockey here.
Chenye's got a 3-game suspe for instigating a fight that he didn't instigate.
Book him in for 3 more 12-hour shifts there then.
Apparently, the rule is whoever drops the gloves first. But I mean, if another guy cross checks you 3 times, I don't really know what they expect. Like, I feel like the guy who does the cross checking is the instigator there, not the guy dropping the mitts and
Yeah,
finishing it. But it's whatever the rules say. But I don't know. I think that's pretty dumb if that is the rule, and a bit of a miss to suspend him for 3 games for that. Like, pretty goofy. He might have hit him once. Like,
really.
yeah, the kid just turtled, dude. But so I don't know how many of the
You could.
punches connected. I know at least one connected well, but I'm sure a few. But anyways,
That's a dumb rule, I think.
yeah, I know, yeah. And then moving on to the Tom Shaw Conference, the Richmond Sockeyes 6-0, first place, just like we expected. White Rock, Joe. I said I liked White Rock a lot early on. 5-1
Their
so
rink,
far.
man.
They've been rolling.
Their
Delta,
rink.
8 games played. It is their rink. Delta, 8 games played, 5-3. So probably, I mean, if they keep this trajectory, they'll finish in that 5th or 6th spot. Coastal and Poco, both 4-1, only played 5 games. So I mean, as far as that division, besides Port Moody being 1-6,
That's wild
it
to
looks
me.
like it's started off pretty much how we panned out or how we expected it to. I will say North Van just got Andrew Castellato back from the SJHL, as well as Patrick Dolan. Not sure what league Dolan was in, but he was playing Junior A.
Are they 0-6?
North Van's 0-5.
0-5. Okay.
Yes, but they just
Maybe
got
that'll
that
help them get their first win then.
two good Junior A players. Yeah, Mission and Aldi also looking for their first win. But yeah, Port Moody has been struggling. They're 1-6. Like they got guys who are putting up points, but I mean, Evan Fidel, 1 goal and 4 assists in 5 games. Not really what I expected from him.
Guy wishes he was still on Ridge, I guess.
Yeah, like I'm going through the lineup and just looking at the numbers guys have put up, and besides Connor Hughes, it's been pretty underwhelming what the
Really?
rest of the team has done so far this year.
Well, I don't know. Where do we predict them to come? I forgot it.
I thought they were going to be really good this year, dude. I predicted them like second or third, I think.
Really?
And by no means does this mean
They can turn it around still, but
yeah,
it's not.
absolutely. Jackson Foster has been traded from the from the Aldergrove Kodiaks to the Merit Centennials. Jackson Foster, he spent the last year and a bit playing in the SJHL, but Aldergrove still had his rights. So Aldergrove traded his rights to Merit. And the Mission City Outlaws picked up a 06 defenseman, AJ Frigon, from the Merit Centennials as well. So Merit with a couple moves there, one with us. Thanks, Wes. Sending the guy to Mish. I don't know, buddy. It's looking really, really rough for Aldi. It's looking rough for Mission. It's definitely looking rougher for Aldi. Mission's not finishing below Aldi.
Mission's gonna be not last.
Mission is not finishing below Aldi.
Okay, Aldi's worse.
Yeah, but Port Moody, I think, definitely one of the main storylines. Besides that, everyone else has fallen pretty close to where we've projected so far in the pitch, Joey.
Okay, I was gonna say any major shakeups, but that's about it. Other than Port Moody.
No major shakeups, no major trades. Ridge guys dominating the standings, along with Mateo Schoberg, 14 points in 8 games. I think I mentioned before Schoberg was a WHL draft pick back in the day. Marcus Jack, Poco's captain, 9 points in 6 games. A few guys on Delta with 10 points in 8 games, Ryder Matheson and Declan Warburton. On Abbotsford, Connor Jarvis and Rhett Sias, 12 points in 5 games for Jarvis, 10 and 5 for Sias. Sias is not a guy who I really expected to be putting up numbers like this, but keep an eye on him, see if that continues or not. He's probably getting a lot more opportunity this year. But yeah, besides that, dude, it's all just Ridge and Delta in the stats.
Really?
Yeah, because Delta's played 8 games and because Ridge is dominating. Besides the few other guys I mentioned, a couple Richmond guys down at the bottom here. Bodie Bowden, but I would assume it's Bodie Bowden and Nicholas Noren, both with 9 points in 6 games for Richmond. So Richmond looking good, Ridge looking good, but pretty predictable so far in the pitch. And I honestly think it will be for the rest of the year, Joe. Anything else you got left for the pitch before we get into our VI preview here?
Yeah, I was gonna say with the KI, it's I was gonna read out you were reading out the highest point getters.
Oh yeah. Give us a couple. I mean, they're only like games, but
well, there's only been 2 games. That's what I was going to say. But also, it's all guys from the South. What is it? What division is that? Nelson, Grand Forks, Beaver Valley, Castlegar, Spokane division, because everyone just rolls Spokane and throws up points. So, and that I swear some of the scores coming out of that division are just ridiculous. But yeah, it's the top, what is it? The top 5 are all from that division. Yeah. And then there's one guy from Kimbo, and then there's 2 more from Beaver Valley. So
Right.
it's like they just eat up down there, I guess. But yeah, is that Oz's buddy? I think Riley Langill. The
Oh, that's the
Australian boy,
Australian. That's the
the
Australian. That guy's a
Australian guy.
stud, dude. I was looking at his league prospects. He played for like their U20 team. He plays in the pro league in Australia in the off season.
Ew.
The guy's a
Yeah,
stud.
yeah. He's got 4 points in 2 games already for Kimbo. So
Yeah, no, dude. I think he was per game in the Australian pro league as a 19-year-old.
that's pretty sick. Him
Yeah,
and Wheel together are going to be pretty solid.
yeah, I think so too, for
Um,
sure.
and then Smitty only played 1 game, but he had 3 points in a
Hughes, Smitty. I love to
yeah,
hear that he's starting off hot.
yeah, 3 points in his first game. So keep an eye on him. I think he's leading points per game right now.
Probably.
Yeah.
Beauty, bud.
So
Well, are we getting into the VI?
I think that's it for the KI. Yeah, we can head over to the VI now.
All right, Joey, it's time for us to get into our VI preview here. Everyone knows the drill by now. You know, we've done it with the PIJ, we've done it with the KI. It's
Yep.
time to go over the VI. Obviously, this is a league me and Joey know the least about. So it's going to be a little bit harder. Yeah. But you know, we've done some prep. We've looked into these things, so we kind of know which teams are. I mean, the season's already started as well. It's about just as far in as the PIJ, so we can kind of see who's done well so far, all that kind of thing. It'll help us out a little bit with the whole process, but obviously we can look at the point leaders. We'll talk about specific players and specific teams, but
yeah. So we're running the Campbell River Storm. I remember these guys a couple years ago. I think it was my first year in Revy. There was a couple guys with like 120 points in the VI on these on this team, and they ended up losing in the finals or something.
They didn't.
But they were an absolute wagon. I heard that a couple years ago. But before we get into like each like player, I was looking at like some of the hometowns of some of these players. Like even on the rest of the teams in the VI, like we're getting guys from everywhere, man.
Crazy. International players from all over Canada. It's actually insane. So we'll definitely try and mention a few, especially guys who are from everywhere. I mean, looking at Campbell River's roster right away, their leading scorer, you know what? Lots of international players probably means we're going to butcher some pronunciations today. So we apologize. I'll apologize in advance for that. But Jan Felix Fopel from Wolfsburg, Denmark, with 10 points in 7 games, leading the way for the Campbell River Storm, followed by Theo Landry from Gatineau, Quebec, Kai Williams from King City, Ontario, and Jacob Kulas from Stowe, Massachusetts. It's Massachusetts.
Is there a limit on internationals in the VI?
I have no idea. But one more that's just jumping off the page, I got to mention it right away. Levante Berta from Budapest, Hungary. Like they got Campbell River, like guys from everywhere. 3 players from Connecticut, someone from Florida, a few from California. This is insane. Campbell River is historically usually one of the top teams, as far as I know.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Usually they're in the top half.
Yeah, lots of really, really good players have come through there. I know they usually have their 16s and 17s honestly usually get moved on. They usually have really good young players that they move on to, the BCHL or whatever leagues. And obviously now that the VI is pretty much an affiliate for the BCHL, hopefully the league can continue to do that. But Campbell River, definitely probably a top team this year to keep an eye on. Joey, you got anything else about the team, any players or anything?
I was actually going to ask, how many games have they played?
Campbell River?
Yeah, or well, the whole league.
The whole league, 4 to 7 games. The average is 5 or 6. Campbell River's played 7 though.
Okay, sounds good. How's their record?
Campbell River? 5-1-1, buddy. They're a wagon. They're going to be good.
Well, they're probably going to be a top team this year, realistically.
They're looking good.
Okay. I thought Port Alberni was also going to be really good too. So, but we'll get to them.
Yeah. So yeah, what do we got next year, Joey?
The next one we got is the BC connection. We already had the coach, a Dickey on there, and so we're moving on to the Comox Valley Glacier Kings.
So Comox Valley, obviously, Dickey and Brad had their hands full this year with this team. Not a lot of returning players, lots of rookies, lots of recruits from other leagues. They got these brothers,
VIJHL?
Joey, from France, from Montpellier, France. The one D-man, he's got 5 points in 5 games. He played a game for France's U20 team this year. Alexander Alhaj, and then his brother Matthias Alhaj also has 4 points in 5 games. So they're both looking sick. The D-man, Alex Alhaj, 3 goals, 2 assists in 5 games. So he's definitely leading the way for Comox. He looks like a stud. And then his brother, the forward, looks like a pretty good player too. Besides that, they got another set of brothers, the Muxlows from Chilliwack. Preston, 5 points in 5 games, and his brother Porter, 3 points in 5 games. They've both been looking good so far. My boy Braden Candy, played 3 years with him in Mission. He had a game winner the other night. He's got 3 points in 4 games. VIJHL, our boy from Mish, he's got 3 assists in 5 games. Austin Charlton, he's only played 3 games so far. He also had a bingo early on, so congrats to Charlie. They got a lot of kids from Chilliwack on this team, actually. There's quite a few. Charlie's not the only one. Another guy.
Is there 2 Charlton?
Yeah, I don't think there's any relation there. One's from Eli Charlton. He's a 16-year-old from Penticton, so I don't know if there's any relation. There might be, but as far as I know, there's not. But I mean, yeah, they got, like I mentioned, they got a couple guys from France. They also have 2 guys from Colorado, different places in Colorado. And then besides that,
it's from all over the map.
Pretty much the rest of the team's from BC, but a lot of mainland kids compared to the other teams. Cohen Callan played for Poco last year. He's on Comox, as well as Aiden Anderson played for the Mission City Outlaws last year, and he just ended up going over to Comox and just signed there the other day. So
I was going to say, this is one of the most local rosters, more local.
Yeah, rosters. But I mean, still crazy they got those guys from France and then a few from Colorado. Like, it's still more than like what the average pitch team has. And Comox has been off to a decent start. 3-1-1 in 5 games. Dickey, he had a very young team with low expectations last year. I think he's got the same thing this year, to be honest. I don't think Comox has super high expectations. And they're already looking really, really, they're already looking really good. So hopefully they can keep it up. I'm sure with the staff they have there, that team's going to get better all year. So I'm excited to keep an eye on Comox, Joey. Anything else for them?
I don't think so. I think we're just going to keep a close eye on VIJHL there, and
absolutely.
And yeah, I think good things in store for Comox this year. If they can, make the playoffs, anything can happen.
Absolutely, Joey.
So we got the Kerry Park Islanders.
Yes,
another local, a lot of local guys as well. No one that really pops off the page, other than one defenseman from New York. That would be Connor Cohen. And then other than that, a lot of local BC and Alberta guys. And then is there anyone from? No one. It's BC and Alberta, and then one kid from New York. So keeping it kind of honestly the most local in the league, I think, for Kerry Park here. And usually, I don't really know the story on Kerry Park. Usually, there's a lot of trades involving them in the KI. I've seen a lot of guys get shipped out here, but yeah, how are they looking at the start of this year?
Yeah, so if I can kind of comment on that a little bit. My assistant coach last year, Jake Ebner, absolute beauty, fantastic coach. He actually took over Kerry Park this year, so he's their head coach. Comox actually played Kerry Park the other night for the first time, and Dickie sent me a picture before the game with him, Jake, Charlton, and Candy. So it was cool to see all the boys back together again. That was awesome. Kerry Park, I will say, not off to probably as hot of a start as I thought. I thought they were going to be, one of the top teams. They're 2-3 in 5 games so far. Carson Brown, 20-year-old, 4 goals, 5 points in 5 games. He actually played in the OJ last year. And then for part of the year, and then he came back, but he did well. So it seems to me like he wanted to come back. Because yeah, he
He wants to come back.
14, 14 points in 20 games for the North York Rangers and 3 points in 6 games for the Aurora Tigers. He did pretty well in the OJ. And then 28 points in 21 games when he came back to Kerry Park, as well as 13 points in 18 playoff games. So I would assume Carson Brown will be leading the way there. He looks like a pretty solid player. Jacob Morrison, Bryce Burnett also have 4 points already, as well as '07 Nate Grinovich. Kerry Park, I think Coach Jake's going to do a great job. Like I mentioned, he's a hell of a coach, and I'm sure he did a great job recruiting a few big players coming back. And I think after a slow start, this is a team you'll probably see climb the standings a bit more towards the end of the year, Joey.
Looks like they got a pretty solid goalie in that too, Ethan Barron, 6'6", 2004 20 bomb. So he's a big body in there, so that he could be a big backstop for him as well.
Yeah, he had a 907 save percentage last year and only 6 games played though. So hopefully we can see him build off those numbers. I mean, in 4 games so far this year, he's at a 940, so he's looking pretty good.
That's what I was saying. He's pretty high up on the stats list for yeah. And he was on Victoria, who was horrible. Like Victoria was really bad last year. So the stats they're there, but from last year. But we'll see how it does this year.
Yeah, it could be another big piece for Kerry Park. Well, I think we're only a few teams in, but we're going to throw it over to our interview now with Joe's buddy Bennett Kuhnlein. Joe, what are we in store for with this interview here? Tell everyone a little bit about our guest today.
A suitcase, the guy who's been around. He knows exactly what it's like to play all the way over on the East Coast, all the way on the West Coast. He can tell us about what it was like getting the opportunity to go play in the Maritimes League, and then also the experience that he had when we won in Revelstoke. So it'll be interesting to see his story and kind of where he's been and what he's done.
Awesome, Joey. Well, let's send it over to that interview with Bennett right now.
What's something you'd love to learn? As an adult, do you make time to learn new things as often as you'd like, or was that lost in childhood? Kids are always learning and growing, but as adults, sometimes, we lose that curiosity. What's something you'd like to learn? Gardening, a new language, or maybe something to help you finally beat your best friend in bowling? Therapy can help you reconnect with your sense of wonder, because your back to school era can come at any age, just like me. Me personally, I've benefited from sports, mental sports therapy. Talking to someone's been super helpful. And whether or not you've used therapy, this is just trying to lead you in the right direction. Rediscover your curiosity with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/THPN today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/THPN. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire and get matched with a licensed therapist. Switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. All right, joined by an absolute legend of a hockey player. Been around, he's an absolute suitcase. 21-22 KIJHL champion, and then an MHL legend, also returning back to play for the Quesnel River Rush as the captain. Please welcome number 81, I think. Hopefully still number 81, Bennett Kuhnlein.
No, Joey, I switched 13.
13?
You know my Calgary Flames fandom.
Oh, that's actually awesome.
Yeah.
No, I like it. I love to hear that.
My favorite player growing up, for sure.
I wasn't quite sure. I just remember you rocking 81 when we were throwing the gloves. So
81 and 88 the last 2 years in the Maritime League.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
yeah, we were talking about that. I've not too many people get a chance to go out there, so we were hoping to get your take on that, but we'll get into it a little bit.
Yes, sir.
How you enjoying Quesnel? How's Quesnel treating you?
Man, I love it. Like our local support here is insane. Like, I mean, I told these guys just before, but I mean, we had close to 900, I think over 900 at our home opener and 700 the game right after that. And yeah, like just the local support that we have. Like, I mean, we went out of the rink today and we had kids on a school bus yelling at us like that were River Rush players.
That's
like
cool.
they know they're super like hockey stoked here. It's awesome.
That's sick, man. I'm glad to hear that you guys are getting the local support, because I know up there it's like hockey's like a lot of it's involved in a lot of people's lifestyles, so it's huge for their lives.
Yeah, us in Williams Lake, man. Like,
Yeah,
Williams Lake is doing really well too. I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen their room and how much money they've poured into that. that organization. But yeah, it's the Caribou, like they just love their hockey. Like, I mean, Quesnel got their junior A team stripped from them a couple of years ago, or what is it, almost 15 years ago, maybe?
Yeah, it's been a while, I was gonna say.
In a long time.
VIJHL team, yeah.
But yeah, I was just wondering how it went this weekend. Like, I think we talked about some of the scores, Owen, but I wanted to hear kind of like what it was like to play.
Yeah, I didn't play. I'm hurt right now.
No way. Oh, I didn't get it.
Last XE game hurt my shoulder, but
Oh, it sucks.
yeah, no, we're young. We have a really young decor, and we're still bringing pieces in. That's kind of what's happening, and you know, like we did the same. Like my team last year in the Maritime League did the same thing. We're new team where we moved from a struggling organization, and it just takes time. You got to bring pieces in. There's so many things going on behind the scenes that us players don't even know about that they're running and figuring out. And
I was gonna say in Revy, there's always guys coming that you don't know about.
The revolving door.
Exactly, it is the revolving door a little bit, where guys are constantly getting cycled out. So I know what you mean.
Yeah, for sure. Well, go back to like my 16-year-old year was just crazy because that was our COVID year. Like where I was everywhere and anywhere that year, trying out for every BCHL team on the coast, and then just our major midget tryouts where did you guys do like the top 40? Where you guys had like a top 40 camp that year for major midget?
COVID year. So that was the year.
That was the year Smitty came to play for you guys.
Yeah, T-Bird year.
What happened that year was at least in Fraser Valley, we already had kind of our team pretty much picked, and any bubble guys were just there as well. So we had a bit of an inflated roster, but it wasn't like we didn't have 40 guys. We had what's a normal midget roster, like 22, 23?
Yeah, 4-line 7D.
Yeah, I was going to say we probably had 26, 27 guys floating around in our bubble. Just because we're not going to cut guys, right? Like we didn't want to send them back to minor hockey where they wouldn't be playing anything.
Yeah.
So we held on to them, a lot of the guys. And yeah, we didn't have 40. We cut down. We might have had like a top 30 camp, and then some guys just didn't want to stay because they were scared of COVID or whatever. And we only ended up playing 9 games that year, so it wasn't anything like important. But yeah.
Well, we had a top 40. Like they took like the top 40 kids from the Okanagan. So I played zone that year, the first year, and then we got shut down like right during playoffs. Sorry, we got eliminated. Kamloops eliminated us, and then I went up and played with the minors, with the minor midgets, and then we played we played Fraser Valley the first round.
Yeah.
And we wiped them 2-0. And then the Thursday before we started playing, I think we were going to play Valley. Is that the Giants?
Yeah.
Yeah. We were supposed to play them, shut down. So no hockey for whatever, 4 or 5 months, like finding ice anywhere. The OTR in West Kelowna, driving from Vernon. And then that year was just insane for me. Like, so even before, I don't know, my timeline's a little messed up, but I went out to Chilliwack because the year in North Zone, I got a call from a scout from the Buccaneers in Nanaimo, and he's like, come to our camp. So I was like, okay, I'll go to their camp as a 16-year-old. Halfway through the summer, I text the guy, hey, where's the camp? And he goes, oh, I'm actually in Chilliwack now. Come to Chilliwack, when they started. So that was the first year they started.
Wow. Okay.
I tried out for the Jets, made the Jets as a 16-year-old, but the problem was they already had 2 16-year-olds that were signed. So they were trying to get me into Chilliwack minor hockey and AP me up the whole year so that I could play. And then, so that didn't work out. So I went home, tried out for major midget in the top 40, was one of the last cuts in that thing. And then went down to North Zone for the second year, went to our North Zone tryouts. And then had a good camp at North Zone, and RP saw me at the North Zone tryout, and invited me to Rev, and then went to Rev for I think we started really late. We started in like October, like halfway through October. Played I think, late because they didn't know about fans or.
You mean game?
No, we started camp in like halfway through October.
Wow. Okay.
So we played.
I guess that was a different time, man, because everyone was so worried about what was going on.
It was insane. And then so we're in our bubble in Rev, and then it was almost a blessing in disguise. So I played two exhibition games for them, one in Kamloops, one in Sicamous, and then right before our regular season started, the AJ and the Dub shut down right away.
Okay.
So those guys came back, and we were the only league running then. So Ryan had probably 8 guys coming in the next day, and then he brought me in for the 3:30 video, and
he was like, "Yeah, it's time. You come in for video, and it's not really video.
And pack your bag before you come." And so then I got sent back to North Zone, which that year for me was super hard for hockey. Like just
I don't think you're alone in that boat, man. I think it was hard for a lot of guys.
So many guys quit that year.
Yeah.
Oh, insane amount of guys quit that year.
Yeah, especially like probably 18, 19-year-old guys. Like I would have quit. Like there's no way. Like
yeah, you don't know what's next, man.
Well, I feel like a lot of guys who were in I kind of want to call it tryout years. So guys who were aging out of midget.
Yeah.
Who were 17 and didn't have like a junior A team were like, what the fuck am I going to do? And just quit. And guys who were 18 or 19 or 20 in junior who were just like, I've had enough. Like there were so many guys quitting for so many different reasons.
But like, remember how bad the start of that year was too, Joey? Like the next year, like our year?
Yeah.
Like how like we were like, it was just terrible. Like
I forgot. You know what I forgot about?
How bad
actually
it was?
Is that we came back and we were only allowed half capacity.
We were like 25% at the start. And then we got shut down again.
Yeah.
And then
there was a scare in January where it was like in Revelstoke there was the most amount of cases in BC in like the condensed area because ski hill, right? Everyone's going out and doing shit.
Everyone's drinking, like.
But yeah, everyone was bugging because we thought we were going to get shut down again for another 2 weeks because the COVID was just going rampant in Revy.
And then we got told not to test. Remember that?
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. We were just like, you can't test positive if you don't get tested.
Yeah, I think. Remember, we got like I think we had a double header with like Summerland or something that weekend, and we were in the Legion, which we could do the whole pod on the Legion.
Yeah, quick backstory is we used to work out. We didn't have a gym because the gyms were closed.
Well, they were supposed. Remember, they were going to build the gym because you guys had like the nice gym. Like last year, you guys.
Yeah, we had the gym built. It finally got built.
They were supposed to build it in the yoga. Remember where we did yoga? They were supposed to build it in there.
Yeah, but they never did.
No, they never did.
So we did. They used to rent out the top floor of like the local Canadian Legion. You know what that is, Owen? Like it's like a little rental gym.
We had foldable squat racks out of there. Like George had his playground in there.
Yeah, and so we were doing every workout known to man in there.
And how cold it was.
Yeah, because we'd go up and there was a cold way. I remember it was like -20 outside, no heat.
Yeah, George would open the window and it's I mean, it snowed 30 centimeters the night before in Rev, and then we're in the Legion when it was
it was
guys working, you know, like the Udis, guys working out in Udis.
Like, you had to wear like a sweater over top because if you didn't, you got too cold.
Yeah, it was freezing.
They got a stick gym now though.
Oh
yeah, we built so they bought like a unit in
the industrial park right by the
industrial park. Yeah, right by the boxing gym, and we built they got like a custom floor mat and with a big Revy logo in the middle and lots of racks and stuff. It's nice. It's pretty sweet now, actually.
Remember the boxing gym? The boxing gym was the best in Rev. I remember who went with Luke that one day. Do you remember Luke?
Dude, I don't know, but Luke can beat the wheels off some kids, man.
Luke, who was it? It wasn't Gallo because they're best buddies. It was Luke and someone else, and they were teeing off on each other.
Was it Ronan?
It was Pusher. Yeah, it was 100%
Yeah,
Push.
I think it was Ronan.
And they were like teeing off on each other, like
Swinging at each other,
yeah.
man.
That guy was a nut job too. Well,
He's in the NLL now, dude.
No, not Pusher. I know Pusher's a nut job. I mean the boxing coach.
Oh, the AJ. Yeah, AJ was crazy.
Well, like Greeny was telling me, Greeno today was telling me, or the other day, boxing gym. Remember when he'd like lay us on our stomach and we'd hit each other in the stomach with the boxing glove?
Yeah.
Greeny left and was peeing blood the next day. After the boys are teeing off on each other, like
he was because you used to take the empty boxing glove and just whip each other in the stomach for the core workout. Oh my god, yeah, I remember that.
Coach, like you guys sparring and teeing off on each other, or
I fought Owen Chamberlain one day. Were you there for that?
And yeah, Chambo's like 6'5". Oh, and he's got the reach of like a fucking giraffe. And Bennett, how tall are you? 5'8", 5'9"?
Yeah, he's 6'5", and I'm not 6'5", nowhere close. Like 5'9" on a good day.
Yeah, I was gonna say 5'9", 5'10".
5'9" with a good sleep.
Yeah.
Like,
but yeah, no, the workouts in Rev have definitely gotten an upgrade since back then. We still did a little boxing this year, but we didn't go too crazy.
No, it's not the Soviet Union anymore.
Yeah, no. I was gonna say our time in Revy kind of capped off pretty solidly at the end there with the league championship. Can you talk about that a little bit? We heard that a little bit from Smitty, but I want to hear your perspective.
Well, that party was probably one of the best we've ever had.
Do you remember what you did in the corner of my room?
So whatever. Like I didn't even play that game. I didn't play game 5. I played every other game but game 5. And then so we party. How long did we party in the room for? An hour, 2 hours? Like
I was gonna say an hour and a half.
We were in there forever. We sung our song like 4 times, and then I think I'm trying to remember the series of events. We did that, and then I remember Lemmy, the video of Lemmy just pile driving the table is one of the best.
was that Lemmy or Westy?
That was Lemmy.
Oh, okay.
Like Lemmy, best guy in the world.
Just like,
I can't believe that guy quit after that year. It's so sad that he didn't get to play the other 2 years with you guys. That guy was.
It is sad. And then we made our way.
We got denied at Traverse. I think you were with me. I feel like you were.
No, I didn't go to Traverse. I went to the drop.
We went straight to the drop. We go into the drop. And remember that Spanish chick bought us like 5 pitchers of beer?
Yeah, sick. I didn't pay. I probably had like 7 or 8 different drinks that night. I didn't pay for a single one.
No, never.
Yeah,
never
paid for a single one. Anyways, do you remember me getting punched?
Yeah, I do remember that. You remember? Stav was there. Stav chased the guy out of the bar. It was trying to beat him up. Yeah, and then so we go from the. I don't know how we got from the drop back to your place, but.
Dude, there was a convoy. I don't even know who was driving that night.
We went to the Joey Trap House.
That was the first time I ever hosted.
Yeah. No, I was there.
Only time I ever hosted.
I was there quite a bit. I hung out there quite a bit.
We had a hot tub, so Cooner came and used it a couple times.
Right.
With you, Wally, and Los in that basement suite with.
Yeah, it was fun, man.
0 food.
And I must have lost 20 pounds that year.
100%, dude. Like. I remember how bad your billets were there. It was.
Yeah, it was not nice.
I've heard the stories. That's good to hear. Someone else who's like confirming it. No food.
Terrible. Yeah, and then I don't remember much of your house.
You were pretty fucked up.
Yeah, who wouldn't be? And I remember sitting on the couch. So Joey had like 2 couches and a corner, and I think there was like a dog bed in the corner, and just right before I left, like I forget who it was. I think it was Bergie taking me home. Bergie says, "Get up," and I go, "Okay, 1 sec," and I lean over and just spill my guts all over his wall, and yeah, and
all over the floor. It was fucked.
You and Wally, you poor guys, had to clean that up.
Yeah, Wally was pissed. We took the dog bed actually, and we just threw it in the dumpster at the rink.
Fair enough. I would too.
It was so bad, man.
You went all the way to the rink?
Yeah, because we weren't gonna like throw it out in our billets
Couldn't
garbage.
find like another dumpster?
I don't know. We went.
only knew that one. That was
We
like
only knew that one.
we
We only
knew.
had the key to that one. They
Yeah,
always lock them because of the bears.
yeah.
Oh, fair enough. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Well,
So we had the key to that one, so we used it.
besides the championship celebration and your first full season in Revelstoke, you also played 3 games for the Vernon Vipers that year. What was that experience like playing in the BCHL for? I guess that's pretty much your hometown team too, right?
Yeah, it was a dream come true. Like I like growing up, like I billeted for 4 or 5 years, like with the Vipers, like as like from like 7 to like 12 years old. Like so those guys were just like, and we had some sick players, like I think 4 or 5 D1 commits that lived at my
Yeah.
house, like just great role models that I got to grow up around. And yeah, so it's actually kind of a cool story. So I got called up. I think we were going we were going to 100 Mile. It was early February, like right around Valentine's Day, I think. So we were about to hop on the bus to 100 Mile.
I actually remember this.
Yeah, and Ryan called me. He goes, you got called up to the Vipers. I'm like, sweet, awesome. Don't have to go to 100 Mile.
Yeah, that was the main thing.
Just the worst. That's such a tough drive from Revelstoke too. Like just
Oh, it was terrible.
how windy it is.
Yeah.
So we played. I think we played the night before. I feel like we played the night before, and I'm driving. So I get the call to go up. I'm driving. I get to right around Mara Lake and like just past Sycamoose, and Ryan calls me, and he calls me and he goes, "You can't play tonight for the Vipers. You're suspended 1 game because of that stupid second interference rule, the goalie interference rule."
Yeah, you got 2 goalie interference calls, and then you get a game.
You get a game, and then I
No.
got it in the last 10 minutes, and I got suspended, and I couldn't play the game. But thankfully, so I think they were playing Cranbrook or West Kelowna that night, so I didn't play in that game. Went and watched, and then they were playing the next night against Wenatchee, and we were short. Like I think we played with 10 forwards that night. So like when I went up there, I played 10, 12 minutes.
Yeah, you have to play. Yeah.
I wasn't sitting, like I was playing. So I played that game, and then they asked me right after that game. They said, "Do you want to come on the bus and come down to?" Because we played it. They played Wenatchee at home, and then we went down to Wenatchee.
Oh,
So I
okay.
got to play 2 games in Wenatchee, which was awesome. Like that rank is
Yeah, dub rank now.
well. As soon as they announced the dub team, I'm like, that's perfect. Like they deserve one. That rank is like beautiful, like super sick. The fans are really good. We played them on military appreciation night, so the rink was packed.
Nice.
They wore like sick camo jerseys, and they were sick. They were really good that year.
Yeah, they were good. Yeah.
Yeah, they had. I think their like best player was Cade Littler, who was like a 6th rounder to Calgary.
Yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
Really, really good. But yeah, I played. I think 10 minutes the one game, like 11 minutes the next, and like 9 minutes in the last game because we had a couple guys come back. But yeah, like
okay.
I went down there, like actually played. I mean, the guys there, like I'll speak very highly of the Tanaka Campbells, like Saya and Jojo Tanaka Campbell. He's the captain there. Both guys, they're both at Yale. Like those guys are 2 of the best guys in the world. Like I know probably for a lot of guys getting called up to the BCHL, like they're probably sitting in their stall shitting bricks. Like no, like the Vipers that year, like they embraced me with open arms. Like just super nice guys. I was there for 5 days and I felt like I was on the team. Like just
sick.
Super, super nice guys.
That's amazing to hear. I feel like a lot of guys have kind of the opposite experience when they get called up. And I've heard nothing but good things about the Tanaka Campbells. I played against Saya a lot growing up.
Yeah, I guess so, right?
But I never got the chance to really meet either of them. But both, I know they're both sick. Like they're both at Yale, you said?
Yeah, they're both unreal.
Yeah, I know. Say I played for Team BC in my year as well. So
there's like a 5'7" guy who just flies around the ice. Like.
Yeah. Well, and then so you get to play your BC. You get your cup of coffee in the BCHL. You win a KIJHL Championship, and then how does this opportunity to move to the Maritimes come about? Tell us all about your 2 years there. Your first year, 33 points. You had a pretty good offensive year. So what was it like? I mean, two different teams, but I think you said one. It's the same team and it just relocated.
Same organization.
Okay.
So my summer that year was kind of insane. So I played the three games for Vernon as a call up, and their camp was 2 weeks after Cyclone, I think. So so I go in. I mean, we were all banged. Like, you remember how hurt we all were after Cyclone.
Yeah, I remember.
Our run was hard. Like,
yeah, it was a grind.
It was a grind. Like, you remember how we got whacked in Cyclone. Like, it was super hard. So I go into Vernon. Like, I was good in Vernon's camp. Like, I was decent in Vernon's camp, but I was like a point per game, but cut me right out of spring camp after playing 3 games.
Wow.
Which was kind of blindsided, but like, you shouldn't expect anything. But, you know, I mean, not trying to sound like, I don't know, but like that I deserved it, but I thought maybe I'd get a main camp sniff with Vernon.
Yeah.
But nothing. And then I was like looking around, and I had a decent offensive year in Rev. Like, I was okay. I was like 0.7 point per game or something with Rev.
You actually had, I was going to say, you actually put up a decent amount of points compared to a lot of guys on our team, because in Rev you don't put up a shit ton of points, right? And you were an underage guy as well, so
yeah, it was tough system, put up points in, and especially like, I mean, you can play first line one day in Rev and be out of the lineup for 2 weeks the next day, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
you don't know, yeah.
So it's
especially as an underage guy, you got to battle.
Yeah, especially doing school and everything too. Like,
yeah, like doing high school there as well. So
practice at 11:30 was tough for high school. But yeah, so I was like kind of looking around, and I had like a couple AJ camps I could have went to, SJ camps I could have went to, but didn't really want to go anywhere unless it was a for sure deal. And that same scout that got me to Chilliwack, he got me a spot in the Maritime League, and
oh wow.
And he's like, would you ever go out to the Maritime League? And I was like, absolutely. Like, they had a guy my year, Caleb Garrett, when I went to Chilliwack, when I played a little bit with Chilliwack.
Yeah, I know Garrett.
Yeah, great guy. He played for Yarmouth in that league. So he played a little bit in Yarmouth the year before, the 2019-20. So I was like, you know what? Like, I'll go out there. And I mean, our team wasn't very good. Go look at our record. I think we won 10 games that year. And that whole year was just an absolute shit show. Like, we go, I think we went 3-3 through our first 6, and we take the Summerside Capitals, which is kind of the top dog in that league. They're the big team, and we take them to overtime as the last place team the year before, and we get a point out of overtime, and the next day our coach is canned, and we all walk into the room and like, where's our coach? And the boys open up Twitter. And we found out our coach was canned on Twitter. Yeah,
that's wild.
And yeah, it was insane. So then we have coach named Sean Woodworth. His kid's pretty good, Luke Woodworth. He's the captain of Drummondville in the Q.
Yeah.
So we have Sean Woodworth for a bit, and then we get a coach named Kirk Tomlinson, who is a character in his own right. He played, I mean, you can DB him. He played, I think, probably 15 years pro. He used to tell us he was the last guy to score 40 and have like 300 PIMs in the coast. Like, just like, this guy was a clown, like a cartoon, like just no knees, like no shoulders, like skin and bones. Came into the rink and just didn't. He was a Bantam coach. He was a great guy, like best guy in the world to talk to, but just not a great coach, and
didn't really know what he was doing, or
came up from Bantam and started coaching a junior A team.
Oh, started coaching a junior. Okay.
And then just kind of.
36 goals, 37 assists, 73 points in 57 games, 385 PIMs for the Nashville Knights in the East Coast.
Yeah, he said he used to take warm-ups in a cowboy hat.
He played a game in the show.
Yeah, one, I think, for Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Yeah, we played that year. Like, we were good. Like, we had, I mean, we got a 16-year-old at Christmas my year there he's I think almost a point per game now in the queue. Cohen Miller. He left midget at Christmas and won the scoring title
Wow,
in major
that's
midget. Yeah, like
that's crazy.
16-year-old, like sick kid, like kind of oblivious to everything. Like, one day he comes up to me and he goes, "Who's Lake Superior State?" I'm like, "The D1 team?" He's like, "Yeah, they just called me." I'm like, "Oh." I'm like, "Can they call?" I'm like, "Can they call me? Like, I don't know. Can you send my number over if you're not going?" And yeah, it was a tough year, but I mean, guys on that team, like, we always said, like, if our chemistry in the room could go on the ice, like, we would have won the Centennial Cup that year. Like, we were, yeah, it was just insane group of guys. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys know any East Coast guys, like, those guys are the best in the world. Like, just
yeah,
I've
hilarious.
heard.
Like, always want to go have a drink. Like, just
yeah. Just getting after it.
top notch guys.
So what kind of transpired your second year? Because like you said, your first year you guys kind of maybe struggled a little bit, and then how did it end up moving, and like what happened?
Well, I fired Kirk, which was the most insane thing. So one day I was working on the golf course, like raking a bunker, and I'm just scrolling through Facebook, and it says your team is moved, or like we were South Shore Lumberjacks. South Shore Lumberjacks have moved to Bucktouche, New Brunswick, and I'm like, okay, thanks for the heads up. And so
Twitter seems to be your main source of news here, as
You
when
know,
you're going out there.
the Maritimes, like,
you think they'd send an email? So I call Kirk and I'm like, "Hey Kirk, did you just see that the team moved?" And he's like, "No, what are you talking about?" And I'm like, he's like, "I'll call you back." Haven't spoken to him since. Still waiting for the call back. Like, yeah, just kind of
It
insane
just seems
stuff.
like a fucking circus,
It
man.
was the first year was a circus. It was crazy. And
and then
then
what was the experience in West Kent like?
West Kent was the best. Like, I mean, same owner, but he wanted to move that team up there since the moment he bought it. They had a
Yeah.
rink.
Wow.
They had a rink that was ready to go, but it was a tough deal to get because there's a team on the island. There's a team on PEI, and they were playing in the New Brunswick. So in that league we have there's the Nova Scotia division and the New Brunswick division.
Yeah.
So PEI or Summerside, which is on the left side of PEI, closer to New Brunswick, was playing
Yeah.
on that in that circuit, and the teams were a little bit weaker in that division. So, I mean, you had like Campbellton, I think it was Campbellton, Miramichi, Grand Falls were kind of like bottom feeders. And then you have Edmundston, like, I mean, Owen, look up Edmundston's rink. Like, that is a QMJHL rink. It is the sickest rink I've ever played in.
Really?
It's a town of probably about 5,000 people, and they sell 2,000 tickets a night. And they love that hockey team. It is a
That's
beautiful.
sick.
But so Summerside didn't want that team to move, or they didn't want us to move up there because then they'd have to play in the Nova Scotia division, and the travel's a little worse. And there's a team in Yarmouth, Nova Scotia, it's where Ryan Graves is from. It's on the bottom tip of Nova Scotia, and the guys over there say it's like the end of the world. Like, it's a nothing town that you drive to for like 5 hours, probably from Summerside. But
And
yeah,
just the middle of nowhere. It's kind of like PG up in north.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, 100% direct
Dude,
compare.
I'm looking at this rink. This is, forget a Q rink. This is like an AHL rink. Like,
I mean, it would probably be good on their standards. Like,
this
it's
is
a
insane.
it's a sick barn, and they yeah
For anyone who wants to check it out, the Jean Daigle Center.
yeah the Jean Dag Centre Jean Dag is what it is in French, but
There we
Sante
go. There
Jean.
we go.
yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, West Kent was a great spot. I mean, they put the money into it that they needed to. And like that, I think the league gets a pretty it gets a lower rep, but man, the thing is you have a lot of skill on the top end because out there, like 17, 18, 19-year-old guys that don't leave, Like if guys want to go play D1, they'll leave. They'll go to Sask, they'll go to Alberta, they'll go to BC. But the guys who want to make the queue, that's where they play. So there's probably 20 guys in that league that year, 20, 25 guys who were up and down with the queue.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, wow.
yeah, like, and then so at the beginning of the year, Moncton cut their captain. We got Alexi Daniel, who was the captain of the Moncton Wildcats the year before. So he came and played for us, and we just kind of got off to a really good roll. Like we were really good, and then Christmas time rolled around, and we got 2 other guys from the queue. Matt McDonald came back from Blainville, and Kiefer Lyons was in Charlottetown a little bit. We got him in a trade from Campbellton in that league, but like we were unreal. Like we were super good, like pushing. We were top 20 in Canada all year on the KIJHL rankings and everything. Like they run a really good program there now. The guys want to go there. Like it's
That's good, man.
Yeah, they want to move guys onto NCAA is their goal.
Yeah,
that's good.
And
so how did that end? How did it end for you?
Just like there. I mean, we brought in so many guys that I kind of came down to like a third line role. Where we were kind of me, Pinkson, and Brandon Clark. We were all 19-year-olds and kind of got brought into that kind of checking role, which we needed. Like we bought into it to win.
Yeah.
We wanted to win that year, like 100%. Like
sure.
that was kind of our role. Like we played a lot of penalty kill and a lot of kind of eating minutes was kind of our job to let the other guys get the power plays and kind of put some pucks in the net. And then, our playoff run was an absolute joke. Like we start playoffs. We play the Miramichi Timberwolves, who eventually went on to win. Like good on them, they won. We start the first period of the first game. We're up 3-0 in the first 10 minutes, and 10-minute mark comes on. We're in an offensive zone face-off in their zone. We win the puck, or they win the puck back, go D to D, and the D-man gives their winger a suicide pass. Like, winger looking behind them, like textbook suicide pass. Our D-man steps down, clean hit. Like, I'll take that till my deathbed. It's a clean hit. And he helicoptered, hit his head on the ice, and had a seizure.
Oh, my God.
So we stopped the game, and we're like, let's go. Like, I mean, we're winning. We have all the momentum. Like we're smoking them, and they're like, no, like we're traumatized. We don't want to play the game, which is fair.
Understandable. Yeah, geez, man.
So we moved the game till whenever. I think it was the Wednesday. But the league hands our defenseman a 15-game suspension in playoffs.
15?
15.
Yeah, like it's an unfortunate result, but you can't base it off the result, right?
Off the result. It was all off the result. And the guy played game 3. The guy who
got hit?
Played game 3 in that series.
Yeah, man, that's
we tried to rescind it. The league wouldn't rescind it. Like,
then did that kind of just derail your playoff? Or?
That just killed you.
I mean, we won the first game and they went 4 straight. Like, just kind of took the wind out of our sails. But I mean, to each their, like, they were a good team. They got Valdor's captain at Christmas. Like, he came down and played for his hometown team. They got like 2 or 3 Q guys as well. Like, just completely loaded up. Their goalie was an 890 goalie through the whole year, and then was a 940 goalie in playoffs. Like, it's like, how do we do?
Yeah.
What do we do? We can't. I mean, run into.
So, what influenced your decision to kind of move back, westbound?
Junior hockey's back in Quesnel for the first time in years. Obviously, you mentioned the crazy fan base earlier. Brand new arena, new facilities. What is it that made you come to Quesnel and not go back to Revelstoke or go elsewhere? Or what led you to the decision?
You did kind of get dished around too, as well. So
it was an interesting process. I wanted to go to Quesnel from the start. Revy didn't get the return they quite wanted for me from Quesnel, so they traded me to Kimberley, for the goalie for Ponto.
For the goalie for the starter on Ravi now.
Yeah, so
Right.
they traded me there. And then I was in Kimberley. I was committed to staying in Kimberley. And from the start, like, I have Cash Anderson is a really, really close buddy of mine.
Yeah, you were saying similar to me and Owen's relationship where you've known him forever.
Yeah, we grew up playing minor hockey together, and it was kind of like all summer we were talking like, oh, we'll go to Quesnel. Like, we want to go to Quesnel. And yeah, like a weekend being in Kimbo, Stu called me there, and he's like, hey, like, you know, the trade came across for Quesnel. Like, I know you're committed to come here or to play here, but I just wanted to call you, like, you know, just in case you wanted that deal. And that originally I told him no. Like, I was like, I'm committed to Kimbo. Like, I want to play in Kimbo.
Yeah.
And then I called my dad. I called Cash, and then I just decided on, yeah, like, I think Quesnel.
Actually,
like,
I want to do it, right?
I want to do it. Like,
yeah.
I mean, we have a chance. I mean, how often do you get? I'm lucky enough to do it twice, but how often do you get to be the first team in a new city, right?
Absolutely.
Like, to get the fans to, like, the way we did it in West Kent. Like, by the end of the year, our last playoff game, we had 1,400 people in the crowd.
Yeah, that's
like,
nice.
Yeah. And it's a smaller town than here. It was a town of 2,000 people. Like, like we're gonna do it good here. I mean, the town is huge. I think we're the biggest municipality in the KI other than Kelowna and Kamloops. Yeah, like, yeah, we have the like, we have the best rink in the league, and I'll take that all day. Like, I mean, us and Nelson.
You were Nelly. Nelly's rink is nice too.
If you came here, you would say us. It's bigger.
Yeah,
it's bigger than Nelson's rink.
Okay.
Yeah, like, just great crowd. Like,
good.
The organization's been great. Our owner, like, is giving us everything we need. He's super excited. I mean, the sponsorships we've got. Like, I think the day we were announced, the Indigenous band donated like $50,000 to our team. Like, right.
That's wild.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
They love us. They love us here. It's
amazing to see the support in the community. Yeah. I don't have my thoughts here, Joey. So if you want to just keep going.
I was just gonna say, so overall, pretty happy with the move and how things have worked out. Then.
Yeah, I mean, the move, like, and these guys here, like, at the beginning of the summer, didn't want to come. So, like, why would we go to Quesnel? Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys played in front of 50 people in North Oak. Like, you guys played in front of 50 people in North Oak.
Yeah, it's I think it's a positive even that they moved out there just to bring hockey back to that town.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Austin Williams, like, will probably lead the league in attendance. Like, I would.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because you guys have the bigger rinks. Like, if Revy had a bigger rink, they would fill it up for sure. But
yeah,
you guys have this capacity.
Though. Like, we don't have the ski bum fans that kind of just go to get drunk. Like, we have hockey fans here. Like, it's awesome. It might not be as loud as Revy, but, like, they're dialed. Like, first game,
they know what's
like,
going on.
3 ref you suck chants going on. Like, like, right away. Like, just awesome support. Like, the people.
That's awesome, man. Well, I think we've been going for long enough here. 45. We've been going for like 45 minutes here, so it's a really great interview, I think.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for your time, Bennett. Lots of crazy stories. You've had quite the interesting career. You've been everywhere. So thank you so much for giving us your time. And just really quick before I pass off to Joe, is there anything you got to tell us before you get off? Any big story or maybe something about Joey even? I don't know, just anything you got that you want to talk about before you hop off here.
Just Joey was like the class clown our year.
Oh,
like,
yeah?
Joey, like, it was just pick on Joey day, I think, almost every day.
Yeah, every day in practice, because we had 20 bomb Weirzy, right? Weirzy wasn't putting up with any of that shit. So
no,
if any of the boys wanted to break away or wanted to work on like their fucking
skill, yeah, two puck, Joey was always up for 2 puck.
Yeah, every time.
Yeah, Meat Sauce Joey, North Oak Joey, Princeton Joey, 100 Mile Joey. I think you had a new nickname every week.
Third string Joey.
Third string, yeah.
Because we brought up an AP one time, and he kept hogging the net, so I was like sitting in the corner all the time. So they started calling me the third string.
Yeah. That was a lot. I think that was like Ports and and Gallo driven was a lot
It
of
was
those.
Ports and Stav and Gallo.
Stab, yeah, Gallo.
We had a good group, man.
That group
That was good.
was it? I don't know how your other groups were, but that group was a close group. Like
That was I haven't had a group like that in a while. I'd say those.
Our court sessions were like legit, like
It was fun.
laughing on the floor, crying. Like,
and we partied too, man. And we knew how to get the boys together, and it was just we were all gelling so well. It's why we won.
100%. It's why
we won.
It's why we 4-0'd Oso.
Yeah, exactly. It's 100% why.
Yeah.
That and an amazing coaching staff as well.
Yeah.
Well,
that's true.
Anything else here, Joey?
I don't think so, man. I think it's good to wrap it up here. Thank you so much, Bennett, man. Really appreciate. We got to get you on again, man. It just went so super smooth here. So thanks for coming on, buddy.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me.
NFL Week 1 is here, and a new season means new ways to get in the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. You ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple like picking a player to score a touchdown. You know, me being a Seahawks fan, I love the Seahawks minus 170 against the Patriots this weekend. You could also bet DK Metcalf catching the first touchdown, or Kenneth Walker to score a rushing touchdown. Either way, score big with DraftKings Sportsbook, the best place to bet touchdowns. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN for new customers to get $250 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 and get 1 month of NFL Plus Premium on us, only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. This podcast is sponsored by DraftKings.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over, age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in New Hampshire, Oregon, and Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ftball. NFL Plus Premium offer available only to new and former NFL Plus subscribers. Additional NFL Plus Premium terms at nfl.com/terms.
Thank you so much to the captain of the Quesnel River Rush, Mr. Bennett Kuhnlein, for hopping on. Tons of cool stories about the Maritimes League, playing in Revy, and now coming back to Quesnel for his last year. It was great to catch up with him.
Great interview.
Great interview. I think we had him there for just under an hour, so we were talking to him for a long time.
Yeah.
Great interview. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. I know it's not a VI player, but the VI player will be soon. So just enjoy another KI player in the meantime. But Joey, let's get back into our VI previews here. The Lake Cowichan Kraken. What are we thinking?
Lake Cowichan Kraken. Yeah. Nothing too too crazy about these guys. They're very young.
Yeah.
And a lot of foreign guys. Like I'm looking at a guy from I can't even say that. Giga Utica, Hungary.
That's Budapest.
Okay, that's Budapest.
So that's the second player in the league from Budapest. They got a guy from Utah, couple from Alberta, Saskatchewan, Ontario, and then
Dimitrov.
Couple from the island. Yeah, Dimitrov. It doesn't even say what country. I would assume
where the hell Russia that is. Yeah,
Ukraine or something.
I'm gonna assume Russia or somewhere.
Quebec, Las Vegas, Newfoundland. So they got guys from everywhere. Started off the season 0-4-2. They're a very young team.
Yeah,
I think they're probably gonna finish towards the bottom, but they're a young rebuilding team and probably a bright future ahead for them. Joey, anything else?
That's pretty much everything that I was gonna say about them. Probably gonna struggle this year, but hopefully, next year, if they get all their guys back, they'll be looking pretty solid.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Joey, who do we got next year?
What do we got? The Nanaimo Bucks.
Yeah, so Nanaimo's only played 4 games so far, 2-2. That's the least out of any team in the league. Baden Pazdirsky, I probably butchered that one. He's leading the way with 4 points in 3 games, followed by Kenneth Boychuk and Brody Lindahl. Both of those players also have 4 points in 3 games. Mm-hmm. Mostly from BC, not a lot of players from anywhere else. One from Quebec.
I love how one player, their hometown is just Finland. There's nowhere in Finland. It's just Finland. Tobias Norland. There's no town in Finland. It's just Finland. That's the hometown.
Finland. So yeah, a guy from Finland mixed in with just pretty much a team from BC. So
yep.
Interesting. I mean, 2-2 start. Don't know a whole ton. They have a very wide mix. They've actually had an 09 play 3 games. It looks like. Yeah, 09. Dylan Hoskins has played 3 games. That's interesting. Probably something to keep an eye on there. But yeah, very pretty young team. But they got a mix. Lots of 05s. Only 104. That's Kenneth Boychuk, who I mentioned already. He's from Edmonton. But probably a team that we see finishing middle of the table, in my opinion. Joe, anything else for these guys?
Yeah, I don't think so. They're really closely involved with the Nanaimo Clippers, so maybe see some guys go up and down there. But yeah, that's kind of the consensus. They'll be a little bit of a mid-table team. It's also really earlier in their season. They played the least amount of games, so it's hard to tell really what they're all about yet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next we got Oceanside, the Oceanside Generals, the team we played in the last Cyclone Taylor in Revelstoke before it switched to the Moat. So yeah, this team, sweet uniforms. I really like their jerseys.
Sick jerseys.
Really local team.
Filled with 07s as well.
Yeah. Really young. Only one foreign guy from Slovakia, Bratislava.
Yeah, Slovakia, yeah. But besides that, most of the teams from BC, a couple guys from other provinces, but super young.
Yeah.
I think they'll probably project similar to Nanaimo, but keep an eye on Oceanside in the next year or two with the way things are looking.
Rookies that they have, holy.
They are, and their leading scorer is a 16-year-old Roman Lavery, 08. So keep an eye on him, and then keep an eye on this team in the future. Another 08 defenseman, Brody Wade, is 2 points in 5 games. So keep an eye on their 16s and just keep an eye on the team over the next couple years. Maybe not this year, but we'll see how they do in the future here. Anything else, Joey?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's a super young team. We'll see how they go.
Yeah.
We got the Peninsula Panthers, my first year Cyclone Taylor Cup.
Yeah, that was when they had those brothers who had like 120 points each, right?
Yeah.
They were
the guy who wore the bubble.
Yeah.
They were insane, and then they just dropped off after that. But yeah, a lot of guys from the island here. One guy from Austin, Texas, Clayton Collier, and then another from Wenatchee, Paco Hodgson's from East Wenatchee, and
Merrick Griniker from Fargo, North Dakota. He's their goalie.
Oh, okay. And then Orange County, California. Who's that? Lucas Anayas. Anayas?
Leading scorer, Ethan Lingard, 4 goals and 2 assists in 4 games so far. Brendan Williams following him with 6 points in 5 games. Joe Maranzino with 5 points in 5 games. And Alex Sajin with 3 points in 5 games. Williams, Maranzino, and Sajin, all rookies leading the way, along with Lingard. So another kind of pretty young team. Lots and lots of rookies, but I would say a lot of 06 rookies. They're not quite as young as Oceanside. But I think Peninsula is probably going to be a pretty competitive team this year. I think their top end looks pretty good. I'm not sure about their depth.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think a lot of what you're saying makes sense. With Peninsula, they have 3 rookie goalies in net as well, so that could be a bit of a factor as well. So
yeah,
it'd be interesting to see how they do, and do they have a 20-year-old? They only have one 20-year-old.
Yeah, one
on the roster. So next year could be their year.
Yeah. Honestly, looking at most of these VI teams, I haven't seen many 20-year-olds. They look.
No, that's what I was saying. It's like they each have 1 or 2 20-year-olds. That's it.
Really young league based on what I've seen, but
yeah, which makes sense because a lot of them are feeding to the BCHL, right?
Yeah, for sure. But then moving on to Port Alberni here, Joe. I don't know if this is a line. No, it's probably not, but these guys look like they have a lot of high-end talent here. Sean Richard.
Probably my pick to win the VI here.
Yeah. Sean Richards, Grayson Salmon, Liam Smith, Zach Spafford, all with 10 or 11 points in 6 games. Richard, Salmon, and Smith, all rookies as well, 06s and 07s. So another team with a lot of rookies, but it looks like these rookies are studs. All hovering around 2 points per game. So they look like they're going to be a really, really strong team this year, Port Alberni. A good mix of youth, but a lot of 05s and 06s. And I think that's what's going to carry them most of this year. And if they don't win this year, they're going to be looking very good next year too, because I actually don't see a single 20-year-old here, Joe. Oh, sorry, one.
Nope.
Sam Davidson. He's only played one game and he had 2 points.
Their goalie is from Melbourne, which is really cool. Yeah, I was gonna say I think my pick to win the VI this year is Port Alberni. They're so close with the Bulldogs. They've sent a couple guys up and down. I already know because I've talked with a couple of guys from that play there now that I just know of.
Yeah.
That I skated with in the summer. So they kind of said, yeah, they're saucing guys up and down from the VI team. So if they get some guys from the BCHL down in the VI, they're probably going to dominate.
Yeah, they definitely look like a strong team here. I think it's probably a pretty big advantage for most of these VI teams that have a BC team in the same city.
Yeah, located near them.
Yeah. So moving on to Saanich. Saanich 1-5 to start the year. They're not looking too hot. 20-year-old forward Tarek Borhot leading the way with 8 points in 7 games. Jacob Bernardo, 06 defenseman with 7 points in 7 games. So he's obviously been playing pretty well so far. Jake Westhaver, 6 points in 7 games, 5 goals. And rookie defenseman Dylan Lamberto with 4 assists in 7 games, looking pretty good. Again, another team filled with kids from BC, filled with kids from the island, mostly Victoria.
I played against Westhaver in a tournament, I think. Or it might have been his brother, his older brother. And he sniped on, I don't think he sniped on me. He sniped on the other goalie in the Moat last year. So pretty good player. But yeah, I just remember the last name.
Yeah, so correct me if I'm wrong, Joe. This is the team you guys played against last year in the Moat Cup. It was Saanich?
Yeah, it was. So Vanderlee in net, I remember him, and Bernardo I remember as well. This seems to be a team, I noticed a little bit of a trend. This seems to be a team where they haven't adjusted to the BCHL style of playing, where they load up on young guys that are looking to make the jump.
Yeah.
Whereas this team is more a lot of returning guys that have been in the league for like a while before.
Yeah, I will say one of their best players, and I believe he was their captain last year, Will Jenkins, is moving on. His older brother Thomas Jenkins also played for Saanich and was one of the top players in the VI a few years ago. I think he had around 70 points. So that'll be a big loss for Saanich there. But yeah, like I agree with what you said. I think this looks like a mid-bottom of the table team in my opinion, but maybe they could squeak into playoffs with some of the returning guys they have.
Moving on to the Victoria Cougars. Historically, not a very good franchise. Usually don't hear a lot about Victoria. That's kind of the consensus that it's been, but it could be a time to turn it around here.
So far they're looking okay. 3-2-1, middle of the table.
They're looking decent at the start of the year, but they're only one notable international player, UC Sarini from Finland, Carina, Finland.
Yeah, 5 points in 6 games as a rookie D-man, looking pretty good so far.
Yeah, looking pretty decent. And then, I think other than that, don't really know what much to expect from Victoria because they've been so poor in the last couple of seasons. But now that they're with the VI doing all the things that they've been doing and leaving to become more of a BCHL feeder, you never really know what each organization is going to do moving forward. So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, Cole Patterson leading the way with 8 points in 6 games. He's 05 forward. Kelton Shind with 6 points in 6 games. Kyler Smith, 5 points in 4 games. Rookie 07 defenseman Carter Zeben with 5 points in 6 games. Maybe keep an eye on him, as well as Jozef Melichar with 5 points in 5 games. And then the two, those are, they're leading forwards. Most 4 of those guys are veteran players, Zeben being the only rookie. So it looks like they're going to be led by their vets for the most part. But on the back end, Sarni, who you mentioned, Joe, 5 points in 6 games, and Austin Garrett, 06 rookie defenseman with 4 points in 4 games. So keep an eye on those two on the back end. I think they'll probably finish a little higher than some of the last teams we've mentioned, like Saanich and Peninsula, but probably not a team that we'll see contending to win this year.
And then our final team here, the West Shore Wolves. Not a whole lot from me actually on this. What I did notice a lot was a lot of Victoria kids. like an insane amount of Victoria kids.
A lot of kids who also
then,
don't have their location or their birthplace or wherever on the website on my end. Do you have them all on your end? There's a bunch of missing.
Every single one of them is Victoria.
Wow. Okay, that's insane.
Yeah,
So
it's all popping up for me as Victoria.
Very local team. Not a lot of rookies either. They look like an older team. Lots of 05s, definitely more 04s than most of the teams we've seen. Zion Lavoie and Jackson Campbell both have 7 points in 6 games. Sam Spring, rookie forward, 7 points in 5 games. And then another 20 bomb, Jaden Kerber, 6 points in 6 games. And Kansas Sini has 5 points in 6 games. So
top of the table right now in their conference.
Top of their division, 4-1-1, 9 points. Peninsula is in second in their division, only played 4 games. So I think likely West Shore finishes in the top 3 in this division. But I guess we'll see here. Joey, should we give our VI predictions?
Yeah, I think I already alluded to my my winner, but do you want to do division winners?
Division, yeah. Well, we're just doing regular season, so yeah, we'll go division by division. So maybe Joe, start off with the North Division. 6 teams in this division, 5 in the next. Give us your prediction here.
All right. Let's go. I'm gonna go Port Alberni number 1, Campbell River number 2, Comox staying where they are number 3, and then here is where it gets tricky. I think Nanaimo 4. And then Oceanside, Cowichan. But I feel like the 3-4-5 can switch very easily. But
I think that's
that's my
pretty good prediction.
That's my prediction.
Well, I'll go mine. I'll stick with the same top 3 as you there. I'll go Port Alberni at 1, Campbell River at 2, and Comox at 3. I think like I said, I think Dickey's going to do a great job there. They'll be a playoff team, and I think even if they're maybe not looking like a contender at the end of the year, they're a team that you should never count out in a playoff series here. They're going to be a grinding, get it done, low scoring team. Just based on the identity that I think they'll establish there. I will also go Joey. It's going to be the same. I'm going to go Nanaimo 4, Oceanside 5, and Cowichan 6.
You think?
Yeah. Like. Maybe Campbell River finishes ahead of Port Alberni. Yeah, sure. I'll switch it to that. I'll put Campbell River first. We'll switch that. Different division winner. So I got Campbell River, then Port Alberni. Besides that, me and Joe are the same with Comox, Nanaimo, Oceanside, and Cowichan.
I was saying Oceanside maybe could finish above Nanaimo.
I was thinking that, but yeah, I think I just like Nanaimo's roster a bit better overall.
Okay.
And then for the next division, you want to start?
Yeah, next one here. You go off. I started the first one.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go with Peninsula finishing first in this one. I'll go with West Shore finishing second, Carey Park finishing third, Victoria finishing fourth, and Saanich finishing.
I'm pretty much with you there. I think, did you go West Shore 1?
I went Peninsula 1.
You went Peninsula 1. I think West Shore 1, Peninsula 2. And then I'm going to say Victoria, Carey Park, Saanich.
Okay, well, that's a bit different there.
Which is a little bit different, but I think I think it's tighter in that division on the south.
Yeah.
Than the north, because just the way it's lining up right now. It looks like Campbell River and Port Alberni is going to run the north here. Comox will be kind of in the mix, but yeah, West Shore, Peninsula, Victoria could all become first in that division, and then Carey Park and Saanich aren't even out of it yet.
Yeah, I'm with you there, buddy. Well, overall, I mean, that was our best attempt at a VI preview here without any experience and not being able to talk to any players at the time like we had originally planned. So we will definitely be doing our best to cover the VI better this year. I think me and Joey will both learn a lot about the league. We'll get as many guys as we can on for interviews, whether they're coaches, staff, or players. We definitely want to give the VI that coverage that it deserves as a league, and just like we do with the PIJHL and the KI. But Joey, I think overall that's a pretty good episode. Nice long interview and a good preview of the VI. Anything else for us, buddy?
No, I don't think so, man. I think real solid interview this week. Bennett went super. I think it was our longest interview yet.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, and I think just need a little bit more insight on the VI for sure. So I'm looking forward to our interview with the VI the VI specialist himself. That's gonna be next week.
Should be, but yeah, we're not sure yet. We'll see. We'll see. We'll do our best
To hear from the player's point of view on sort of the first. I guess we had the JP, the whatever that the U18 league is, but the first junior feeder to the BCHL.
Yeah.
It'll be a good insight on from like a player's perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as always, Joey, thanks a ton. Bennett, thank you so much for giving us your time for a great interview. I hope you all enjoyed that. Hope you all enjoyed the episode as a whole. As always, stay tuned for more. We're not slowing down anytime soon, so we're super excited now that all the leagues are going. The NHL is around the corner. I think we're about 10 days away.
We're watching preseason. Watching preseason right now.
Done. So as always, stay tuned. We'll be covering everything hockey that we can. We're all here to grow the game as always, Joey. So, be sure to like, share, follow, check out our YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube, download the podcast, give us a rating, all that good stuff. As always, thank you so much for listening, and we'll be back next week for more.